When you look at the state of countries in the Eurozone like Germany, you look at it and think, despite things being bad in this country, thank God we're not in the European Union anymore because the situation is much worse in those countries. Hello everybody, welcome back to the show. So, Germany, another U-turn by the German government. They are all over the place because they don't even know what to do now that Britain's left the EU. Before, the Germans and the French were trying to compete with each other to technically be the bosses of the EU, and Germans have historically been quite disruptive anyway, but they always use Britain as the scapegoat, as the naughty members of the European Union. Now that we've left and we've put the burden on them, they don't know how to be the boss of the EU. They've completely made a mess. Now, because of the energy crisis and the addiction of the Germans to Putin's gas and oil and all that, which Donald Trump warned them about, and they completely laughed at it. I'm going to remind you guys about that in a sec. They had to make a bit of a U-turn because they went against the nuclear and the actual clean energy because they wanted to go green hippie with the solar panels and everything else. Now they have been forced to make a bit of a U-turn on nuclear because there's a winter crisis coming and they don't know what to do. If you think the cost of living crisis here is bad and the energy crisis here is bad, which is bad, look at the state of Italy, Germany, and those places. Now, this is despite the fact that you still have the German hippies protesting against this decision. They're making it sound like the Germans are basically creating plants everywhere and the whole of the country is going to go boom. Which doesn't work that way. But the reality is, let's talk about some facts, because you only have 2 or 3 companies, that's the E.ON, ENBW, and RWE. They only have 3 plants left, and that generates only 6% of Germany's electricity. So the U-turn was to not get rid of the remaining plants. So it's not even some sort of, the whole country is run on fusion. They are having a meltdown because of this. They don't realize their own factual problems. You have gap when it comes to gas. Look at both Germany and Italy. This graph, you can pause the video, just have a look at it properly. When you have the shortfall, both Germany and Italy are not really able to make up for the shortfall of the Russian gas imports. They don't know what to do. They have absolutely no idea how to react to this. You wonder why the German confidence when it comes to general economics and everything else and political confidence has gone down so badly. It's getting close to the financial crash. It's basically on the same level, 2008, 2009. This is very bad. Last time it happened in the early 90s was when Germany was about to go bankrupt because they chose socialism. They weren't so socialist that they were like, well, we need to completely change the economic model because we are running out of money. We have a lot of homeless people and the country is getting old. And so we need all the pension money. And they changed it slightly and then they're going backwards. And we are supposed to be following their model. If you listen to people like Femi and other Ramonas, they say we have to follow their model. Even though when someone like Donald Trump warned them about their addiction to Putin's gas and oil, and he said it nothing to do with Putin himself. He was talking about diversifying the sources because he's a businessman. He said you can't. It's just not logical to just have one main source when it comes to any aspects of your energy. And then they just laughed at his face. This was the issue that they had.
Germany will become totally dependent on Russian energy if it does not immediately change course. Here in the Western Hemisphere, we are committed to maintaining our independence from the encroachment of expansionist foreign powers. It has been the formal policy of our country since President Monroe.
They laughed. They were all smiling. They were giggling like little girls at school. And now, look at them now. They're not laughing now, are they? Donald Trump said this years ago. They didn't listen to him. And even now, no one's coming out from the establishment in Europe, including this country, not only to apologize, but to acknowledge their flaws and their problems. Because it's not up to them. When you have the globalist lobbies running the show and completely running the narrative, they have no power anymore, these politicians. They're just going with the wave. Like sheep. They are sheep. And you think they're powerful. They're not even that powerful because they have other people to listen to. Now we're going to come back. We're going to tell you a problem with this Tory leadership election because it's been infiltrated, this voting system, by external forces. Subscribe to the channel. I'm Tousi and we are the media.